Ruud van Nistelrooy is convinced that some of the signings, Manuel Ugarte and Joshua Zirkzee, will come good at Manchester United after slow starts. Ugarte arrived from Paris Saint-Germain for a fee which could rise to £50 million after a prolonged pursuit in the summer transfer window. Zirkzee cost £36 million from Bologna and was brought in to help ease the load on Rasmus Højlund up front. Neither player has lived up to their billing yet, with Ugarte only recently becoming a regular starter in midfield, while Zirkzee hasn't scored since netting on his debut in the first game of the season. Their struggles played a part in Erik Ten Hag getting sacked on Monday following a miserable start to the season. Van Nistelrooy has taken over as interim manager and got off to a good start by overseeing a thumping 5-2 win over Leicester on Wednesday. He will take charge against Chelsea on Sunday before handing over the reins to Ruben Amorim when he arrives on November 11th, and is sure that Ugarte will become a key performer under the new boss. "I'm convinced about Manuel that he will be a great player for United," Van Nistelrooy said. "He had a very good performance yesterday, and against Fenerbahce he had a good performance. I think, of course, getting players in an early conclusion, players who are here for 2 or 3 months, we should be careful with that, I think. Dotted quote as a great signing. He's a very good player, professional, he has very specific qualities in midfield when he gets in between players and recover the ball for us to get us in attacking positions. Also on the ball, very decent, so I mean he will be a very good player for this club." Ugarte has only started one Premier League game for United so far, with niggling injuries and long trips to South America to play for Uruguay posing problems. The output of Zirkzee is perhaps more worrying, with the 23-year-old on a 13-game goalless streak. Van Nistelrooy scored 150 goals in 219 appearances for United, so is well placed to judge Zirkzee. Josh is a similar answer to Manuel Ugarte's situation. "Josh came in and he's a young player with a lot of potential," he said. "He is a typical number 9 in the sense that his hold-up play is very good, he's very strong in combination play. He's a different type than Rasmus, because Rasmus is more of a number 9 who plays high up the pitch and he's getting in the back of defenders. Josh is more of a player who is coming toward the ball and gets the team playing. In the Crystal Palace game, I thought he was excellent and showed one of his best performances. Another one with a lot of talent, he's a good age and has a lot of potential to develop. We have to look after him, give him time, because he will get better and will be a very good player." Manchester United have got their man, with Sporting CP manager Ruben Amorim set to replace the recently departed Erik Ten Hag from November 1. The Dutchman, 54, had come under increasing pressure at Old Trafford following a drop-off in form, despite nearly £200 million worth of talent arriving over the summer transfer window. Ten Hag had weathered the storm earlier in the summer as Inos completed their review of the club and then decided to back the former Ajax man and keep him on following the FA Cup win against Manchester City at Wembley. Ten Hag discussed his future with the club and they agreed to extend his contract by another year. In reaction to that news, he said, "We have found complete unity in our vision with reaching those goals, and we are all strongly committed to making that journey together." 3 days after finally becoming United's new sporting director, Dan Ashworth said that the club's review of last season reached a clear conclusion that Erik was the best partner for us to work with. However, those comments were caveated by acknowledging that the same review highlighted areas for improvement. He also stated their strengthened football leadership team was now in place, but Omar Berrada did not officially start work as chief executive for another 9 days. 4 months later, when United Antony, multiple outlets are reporting that those two led the recruiting of Ruben Amorim as the club's new head coach. The Independent claims United did not interview the sporting coach during the summer, explaining that the July arrivals of Ashworth and Berrada have been the key difference between then and now. It adds that the move was driven by this new leadership, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe giving his blessing due to how highly the coach is rated. The report aligns with what the Ineos owner said early last month about any decision regarding the future of Ten Hag falling with that footballing leadership team rather than himself. It's the management team that's running Manchester United that have to decide how we best run the team in many different respects, Ratcliffe said when pressed by BBC Sport. But that team that's running Manchester United has only been together since June or July. They weren't there in January, February, March or April. Omar, Dan, they only arrived in July. Ratcliffe reiterated, they've only been there, you can count it in weeks almost, and they've not been there a long time, so they need to take stock and make some sensible decisions. He also acknowledged, at the end of the day, it's not my call. The comments perfectly explain why Amorim wasn't approached over the summer, and hint it's now Barada and Ashworth who are making the big footballing decisions at Old Trafford.